want to stand or sit?
Stand.
Oh, that's good. She wants to stand, and I think that's always a good thing too, because obviously your production is going to be a lot better when you stand. You're going to make a better sound, and you're going to feel like you're making a good sound, and you'll breathe a lot better, so you won't get as nervous. Okay? And can you tell us where you're from, Debbie? It says in the program, but go ahead and talk to the audience.
I'm from St. Joe High School in St. Joe, Michigan.
St. Joe. And what's your year?
And I'm a senior there.
Senior in high school. So you are seeking to be a music major in the fall?
Yes.
Okay, very good. And music performance, okay. I knew that because she came and already had a lesson once, but I thought she should share it with the audience. Okay, now she has chosen Rhapsody by Wilson Osborne. She had a couple other pieces too, Poulenc and Mozart. All three of which are very good solo pieces. She chose this one. Remember, when you play an unaccompanied piece, it puts you on an entirely different platform than if you're playing with piano. But oftentimes in your undergraduate editions, you wouldn't need a pianist anyhow. Right out of the gate, you have to really assert yourself as a musician and think about what you want to say in every aspect of your playing. Okay? Now, you want to play a few notes before you start? Okay, now, you can start beginning. You probably won't go too far. Okay. Might go to here. Okay, but I'll stop you. Okay, good. Very good. Nice. Nice job. Take a bow. All right. Okay, Debbie, very nice. I think you have a nice sense of the piece, right? Now, if you were taking an audition, you would have probably come out of the audition and say, I really hated my read, right? Right? Okay, so in this case, never start playing unless you're really comfortable with your read. Although some clarinetists out there would say, I'd never start playing. They might never start playing because you know, how many times do you guys go to a concert and you say, man, I got this concert tonight and I've got 10 great reeds, right? It's very unusual. Maybe 1 or 2, but 10. So anyhow, but hats off to you for playing that, and she kept going because that's what you do. You can't stop and say, oh, geez, I don't like my reed, right? So in this case, if you have, the unfortunate thing for you in this case is that it's solo. So it's not like you had 10 bars where you could, you know, fix your reed. Or anything like that. And there again, that is the exciting part about playing an unaccompanied piece, and it's also the challenging part because you're the show, you're everything. So I liked your presence. I mean, you could tell the audience was really listening to what you had to say. You had some nice musical ideas. Another danger that we find in an unaccompanied piece for an audition, or any time we play in an unaccompanied piece, is if you take the same amount of time at every breath. So you have to make your pacing a little more interesting and different. So you don't want to play it just like it's in 4/4 time all the way through. So there's some places where you're going to want to take more time, and some places where you're going to take less. And so you make it a nice, you know, musical statement for the audience, okay? Now, why don't you fix your reed just a little bit? I would just soak it up, take it off and soak it up a little. But I think she did a very nice job. As I say, playing these unaccompanied pieces put the player on an entirely different platform because she's responsible for every single thing on the page. So in a way, this is, in addition to this, you would want something that has really strong rhythm, or something with a pianist too, because this is an excellent showcase in some respects, but in other ways, it's lacking the things that we look for when one comes into an audition. Which the first thing that I'm looking for, well, the first thing we hear is sound, but also really a big factor is rhythm, and can they keep time? And do they understand the inner pulse and subdividing? And some students, they have that naturally and some don't. But like I tell my students all the time, it doesn't matter what holes are in your playing. If, you know, they may know they worked really hard on this certain technical deficiency, but when they come out, or when you do your audition, nobody's really interested, right? So you want to make the appearance that, oh, this is all easy for me. And so it doesn't matter if you practiced it once or 1,000 times. You have that one chance to play it. And so you really want to put your best foot forward. Okay? And that's what's so exciting about performing. Okay, now let's see if that reads any better. You know what I think you could do? Just in general, you're a little nervous. You seem to think there's people out here listening to you, right? Now, if you were in your home and you were playing, say, in this room that you really like with nice acoustics, would you play that the same way? Even your warm-up note. And remember, it starts piano, but piano is get all the way back up there by Sarah, Laura, Emily. Okay, it has to get all the way back there. So this piano is, it requires a lot of wind. Okay, we don't just want to. We don't want to say, oh, I'm playing soft. Can you hear it? No, they won't be able to hear it. So it's always you take your dynamics with a grain of salt, and you must execute them to the nth degree. Okay, now you try. And another thing I'd like to see, can you play an open G for me? Good. And I always say the open G tells you a lot about your reed and the way you're blowing. So, okay. Okay. Now I want you to really give me a strong open G. Good. Now can you even use more wind and really? Good. Now really, play to the bell and get it out there. That's much better. Now, let's see if you can let's just start your first note. And what I want you to do is get this audience, like they gotta be waiting to hear that first note. They're saying, I wanna hear Debbie play this first note. Very nice. Now, wouldn't you say that's much better? Much better presentation now? Very good. And now you were a little worried about your timing, right? Because she's using more wind, so she felt like she was going to run out of wind. But there's nothing wrong. It's rhapsody, sustained. You're going to take some time. And because it's unaccompanied, you can flow a little and do some metered rubato, I call it. So, so let's try about this tone. Try that first. Fold it in your mix. Very nice, very nice. And so don't drop your little notes. Little notes are like small children. They require a lot of care, right? So there it is. Da, 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 da. Okay, because that's your first statement, and this is where you want them to say, this is where the audience is like, man, I like this piece. I want to hear more, or I don't like that Osborne, right? So you want them to say, I'm going to listen more. Da. And I like to see she has a fine teacher who taught her B flat side key, which is very good and nice and clean. And who is your teacher?
Scott Kurtzwell.
Scott Kurtzwell. Okay, very good. I know Scotty. Jocelyn had a lesson.
Yep.
Okay, now one more time. Okay, so remember, we're waiting to hear that C. Okay? Okay, what do you think of that? Very nice. Bravo. Good job. Okay. I like that. And aside from that, it's great for her to come up in a forum like this to get some of the nerves out to play this piece, because now she can go home and say, all right, I'm not so worried about my audition because I know I played it in front of a lot of people. For your audition, you'll just have to play it for a small committee. It's a different kind of environment, but really you got to remember that all the faculty and anybody listening to you, we want you to do well. We love it when we hear excellent playing, because that's what we desire to teach, and we like to hear that. So just come in and show what you have, like you just did, okay? Thank you, Debbie. Very nice.